Hello, in today's video, I'm going to teach you how to make your very first puppet. Now, one of the key factors is to get a sketchbook. But where is my... Gerald! Huh? What did you say? Oh, you mean this one, right? Is this the one you're talking about? Like the sketchbook thing for your video that you've been making? Is this the one? Yes, that sketchbook that's right there. Here you go. Thank you. Now, I do all my sketches in this book. All my old previous sketches I've done in the years before. Many sketches. Too many to count, honestly. But one of the best things about designing characters is that you have a starting point. Now after, let me get to the page. Now after you're done with your starting point, you will make the character's head. And how to do that is using clay. Now you sculpt it out like a cylinder. So this is going to be very easy for this guy. Now I'm already done with the pattern, but I'm going to show you a little bit of the process and the materials you need. So these are going to be the items you need to sculpt your first puppet. You're going to need some clay. I use monster clay, soft, and you can use a sponge to smooth it out. You can usually get this on Amazon. And then you're going to need some tools. This is the stuff you will use to shape out your character. You usually can get this on Amazon too. Just look up sculpting tools and you get a wide branch of just tools you can use. A wide margin. Yeah, that's how you say it. You're also going to need some tape. I know it's going to sound weird, but basically you use the tape to mask up the clay model, so that way you can use the X-Acto blade. So dangerous. Use the X-Acto blade to cut it out. Then after that, you put on the paper, the tape. You put it on the paper. You line it out, and you cut it with scissors. Also, I forgot. You use this to more easily get the clay out. So let's start doing that. Okay, so I have the clay out. What you will use is this to cut it out. And not cut it out, but like to shape it off so it'll be easier to sculpt with. This is the character I'm making. His name is Louis. There's my signature. The reason why I have it on the phone is because whenever I go and travel around with it, I always have the image that I can reference to. I won't be sculpting it to show you, but in basic sense, you will sculpt a circle, sculpt it, then after that, you will cut out the mouth placement where it's supposed to be. After that, you get some masking tape and layer it on one side, not both, one. And then you will get the X-Acto blade, cut it out nice and easily, and you will cut it just the first, like just half, like you will just take it out. Just cut the middle part of it and then take it out. After that, you're gonna figure out how to flatten it. Just make some cuts with the scissors. And then, once you got your shape, what you would do is use math. So this is the math I use. So you will get 100 and then times it by the inches of what it is to the inch that you want. And then that will give you the answer of what you're looking for. So I'm already going to cut it back to something that I've already finished of a pattern. Now, I use my own pattern for this design that I made a few years back. But I modified the mouth so that way it looks a little more curvature, a little bit more curvy. There you go. That guy. Yeah, today, not today. Sorry. The reason why he's curvature like this is because it make him a little more zany. That's why I did this curvature of the mouth design. Alright, let me cut it out. Alright, so to cut them out already, I need to glue these parts. These little snips of the foam. Once you glue that part, once you glue these parts, not this or this, because that's the entrance and that's the mouth, you will use contact cement if you can use it. If you can't, use hot glue. Hot glue will work. Just over time it will get a little bit ruined, but it's just fun. But I'm using contact cement. Barge. Now I do warn you, it's a little toxic. So you're gonna wear gloves and a mask. Gloves and mask. Because you're gonna need it in order to be safe. Alright, I'm gonna show you when it's glued. So now I have the glue on. I can easily then drop. Sorry about that, I'm wearing the mask. It's been drying out for a bit. So if I slowly put it in together, see how sticky it is? Slowly stick together. See how this can stick? Just wanted to show you how easy it can be. Just sticks like glue. Because it is. Okay, now he's done gluing. Very structure. It's small enough so my whole hand could fit it. So I won't be doing the dome shape. But in short form, you will get a piece of paper and then put it right here and then cut half of it off. And after that, trace that and then revert it so it could be like a full circle. Like just cut it out, the paper, and do it on the other side, and then you get a full dome shape right here. And then you will get the like a dome shape so that way it could be solid, but it doesn't really need to be when your hand's there. If it's not that big, if it's small like this, it is fine. But next, I'm gonna put on the mount lid, and yeah, I'll see you then. Okay, so now we're gonna need some mount plates. I already cut them out, but what I did basically was get some like hard plastic. It could be from a Tupperware or what other hard plastics are there? Not water bottles. I would tell you that. Never do water bottles. They're way too flimsy. Do something like a container or a bin. But what I did was I got the plastic right there. See that plastic right there? And I used that to cut it out and mark with the Sharpie to mark off where this part and this part ends and begins. So that way I can line it up and make these mouth plates. So now what I'm going to do is gonna put holes on the places that my fingers go, because it's going to be like a groove where like I put them on and I put them on nicely and then I can move with my hand. So it's going to be a good process, fun process. So now I am finished with not gluing, but stitching on the elastic bands for the mouth plates. I'll show it to you in a second when I wear them on. Now here it is when I wear it on. Looks good now. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to glue this. This is the top and this is the bottom. I'm going to glue them together to the top and bottom of the foam head. So I'm going to do this right here. I'm gonna go this right here with contact cement. Oops. So I'll see you in a bit when I'm finished gluing. Then after that, we're doing the body. Okay. Sadly, I removed the laces for, not laces, but the grips for the puppet, because if you're making like this size of a puppet, you really don't need that, because your whole hand will fit it and it will be stable enough to perform. Now all I have to do is build the foam puppet body, his hands, and maybe his feet if you want to. Okay, I'm gonna move on to the pattern of the body now. Okay, I finished the puppet head. Here's the puppet body I built a while back for a different project, but I didn't use it because it wasn't right for it. But this one, oh sorry, this is the back. But this one, I think, will do well. Also, build the hands. Look a little odd, but I think it'll be interesting the way that they're going to be operated. And here are the patterns that I use. You can kind of tell what I use it for. This is foam, fabric, foam and fabric, fabric, foam, and no, fabric and foam. Here, I'll take this out so you can see it. There you go. Now, I'm going to move on to the step of making the fabric. To make the fabric, you need to buy a piece of fabric that you want. Then buy some dye. Now, sometimes if you want to dye fur, you're going to need an extra step. This is called Rift. It's called Dye More. It dyes more stronger fabric. So like it says right here, it can dye polyester, nylon, beads of synthetic, acrylic, and synthetic. So you're gonna need this in order to dye some furs, because most furs are made out of acrylic or polyester fur. So I recommend this. I also just recommend Rift in general, because all you gotta do is boil the water to a hot temperature and then pour it, or get the powder version and just pour it there too. And then you just move it around to the consistency you want, dry them, and then you have it. All you gotta do is just dry it, comb it, and then cut it up. So I'm gonna put this, and this to the fabric area, so that way I know what I'm cutting. I get a rough estimate. Alright, I'll cut it back when I got the fabric and teach you how to stitch it. It should look something like this after you're done making the pattern. I have some extra room, so just in case if an arm breaks, or if it doesn't, when an arm part breaks. This doesn't happen usually, but if it does, you should make a little bit more room than usual. Now I just gotta cut all this out. I have cut down every fabric pattern that I have. Now I will cut the mouthpiece for this guy. Oops, a lot of fabric just dropped. I'll cut down the mouthpiece for this guy. Yeah, I'll cut it down by using these materials to make the mouthpiece. Since he has a uvula, which is like the tongue inside, I'm gonna cut that out and put it on here. But I'm also gonna do is put the muslin inside this guy. Same concept for the fabric. You just gotta put it inside with some probably like a little bit of glue, not that much, but very same concept. Alright, I'll see you when this guy is done with his mouth. So I turned the puppet inside out. I labeled it both ways so I don't forget. But you're gonna need this type of fabric called muslin. It is a comfortable fabric on the arm, and I have tested out on this part of the foam before, and it's really comfortable to use this type of fabric on top of the puppet foam. So I'm gonna put this So I'm going to stitch this together. I'm going to layer it on top of this by gluing some parts of it. And then after that, I'm going to stitch the... Actually, I might stitch the head on here, because I'm going to put another fabric on the puppet's head too. So I think I'm going to do that too instead. Alright, I'll let you know in a few. I am now finished cutting out the pattern. This is the top, bottom of it. Fits in well into it. We gotta stuff it in more, but fits in well. Now, all I gotta do is put this to a fabric, cut it out, and then if you want to, there's two ways to do it. Either one, glue it in the mouth, or two, stitch it with the other fabric and then just put it in like a glove. But you do need to put glue on it afterwards, so it might get a little bit messy. It might get the fur or the other fabric for the skin to be sticky. I'm gonna do it with gluing the mouth plate in here with the fabric and then stitching it the fabric on there. So that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna show you how to do that. I have traced out the mouth pattern for the puppet. I put tape over this just to make it more secure so it doesn't be prone to ripping, because here's some examples. If you want to draw on it, it could get messed up over time, or like if you layer it on something else, or like you accidentally step on it, it gets ruined. Also just really easy just to rip, yeah, see? So I put tape on most of them. If I don't put tape on them, it's a fabric that I have been working with, or I forgot about it. But typically, if I have time, I put tape all around the pattern. So I'm gonna cut this out and glue it on him. Okay, we're gonna use monster clay to sculpt the eyes for this puppet. We're gonna get like a rough shape of it by using the clay. After you get the desired shape you want, you can use cardboard or a box that you don't care about and you put it on here with hot glue. Then after that you pour this. This is a type of solution. Wait, let me get closer. This is a type of liquid silicone rubber. This is a type of silicone that you drip onto the pattern you want, like this, and it comes out how you want it to be. So like if we zoom in, yeah, there you go. Now I do warn you though, it does take a while. Like to pour it in, not that much, but it takes 6 hours just to let it dry. So I will do this like a day in advance, or put a timer on, so that way if you want to do other projects. I will leave it on the side, by the way. But it's a 2 and A mixture. You mix the A and the B about the same, and you mix it together with a spoon or something else, and you put it into the mold, and then it comes out how you want it to be. And that's all you have to do. Now I'm going to do that right now and show you how to do it. Now I am finished molding the clay of the eyes. See how they look nice on there. So now I'm going to put this with cardboard, shape it out, then I'll show you how to mix it with that. Alright, I'll show you when I am done with the mixture. Okay, I have the box made, and now I am mixing A and B together. I would use a cup and another cup to pour the A and B in separately. You need to make sure that they're leveled the same way, or same in both cups, so that way when you pour it, it's evenly distributed. After that, you just gotta mix it with like a fork or a spoon or anything that you can throw away, like a plastic, until they're mixed evenly. After that, you pour it into the mold, and you just wait. That's all you need to do. Okay, I'm gonna show you it when it's poured, and I'm gonna leave it for the side for like 6 hours. So that's how you do it. So I have finished pouring it in here, and now it's just sitting by the window, and it's just letting it dry. I'll come back to it in a few hours. Okay, now it has been over 6 hours. It has fully solidified. I'm going to show you the process of me peeling it off. So what you need to do is just go in. You don't have to go in that much force because it just slightly come out. See that? Like, here, let me get a little closer. I don't think you can see it, but like slowly but surely, it will come off. I'll show you when it is fully off. Just like that, it just peeled and peeled. That's all I have to do, and it just comes out so easily, just smooth like butter. And then you just take it off. After that, you just get the mold. It's really hard because you've been leaving there for like 6 hours. Now you flip it. It's the exact same mold as this one, just flipped. Now all you gotta do is pour this. This is the exact same thing, but white, and it's a hardener. So when you pour it in here, it's the same concept as this. You mix A and B together, exactly the same balance, and then you mix it all together. And when it's like fully mixed, you think it gets a little hot, a little warm, and then when it's fully mixed, you just pour it into here. You just pour it in here. Now the casting time is a little bit more quicker. The pouring lifespan is 3 minutes, and the curing time is 10 minutes. Just gotta pour it in here, and then it's done. And then after I'm done with this curing, I'm gonna show you how to put them on. Yeah, and we'll go from there. Here, now then it's finished. You can peel them off like this. Now I already tested it to see how big they are. They're a little too big. So what I'm going to do is sand them. And I'll cut back when they're sanded and I'll show you how they look from there. Here's a final look before they get sand. Here's a final look before they get sand. Okay, now that I sanded them, they're perfect for the puppet. Now, all you gotta do is put the pupils on him and the eyebrows. Yeah, because that's what it shows right here. And also shows in the drawing. After that, I'll show you how to put them on and how to cut them out. This is a velvet paper, and I'm going to put them on the puppet eyes. So what you do is you'll cut it out very nicely, or use a machine that cuts it out. Now it's kind of hard to find them, but it's a hole puncher. Once you're able to find it, you're able to cut it out, and if it's perfectly on here, you gotta get the right size. I'll cut them out and I'll show you how to do the eyebrows after that. I have now finished cutting the eyes out, and all you gotta do in the back of them is just peel it off and just place it on it. And I'm gonna show you how to do the eyebrows after that. Then just like that, they're on. All I did was just peel it because it has a sticky backing to it, and I just firmly paste it on there. Now you have to put a little bit of like contact cement over the eyes, or just regular super glue, but I'm gonna use contact cement. You could also, for this design I have right here, he has like here, sorry. He has like black linings over here of his eyes, and you see in the bigger image too. So I'm gonna do that to this guy, give him like a wavy, like a little scribbly type of like line. You can also do the same thing with this, just cut on like a scribbly line, very thin, and just place it on there. And that's what I'm gonna do right now. So I'll show you when the eyes are finished, and then I'll move on to the nose. Now they're glued on. You just layer it on the eyes, the fabric. Now that they're finished, I can move on to the nose that I have right here. And I'll show you how to do that with a big piece of foam. I have drawn out a pattern of the nose of the puppet. See how it's around like the same size? So now I'm going to cut it like a box right here to here. And then I'll get the very similar dimensions of the whole nose. And then I sanded it all to the point where it is perfect. Because with the fabric you can see very small imperfections. So I'll show you how to do that right now. Once you have gone through all of this foam, you will get this. A rounded nose. Yes, it's not that perfect. But, sorry. See? It's perfect enough to the point where if you put it on fabric, it will just look like a ball. So get a rough shape, but like very kind of rough, fine shape. So that way it looks like how you want it to be. Now, you will cut a circle around it, and then start to stitch around it. And then don't stitch it fully though, just stitch around it. Like, here, I'll show an example. You get a needle, and then you stitch around like, yeah. Just back and forth, around the whole thing. And then you pull on it, all the strings will combine together to make a little pinch around it. Then you sew it up right here, and then you glue it on the nose, on the face of the foam. And I'll show you how to stitch it up. No, I'll show you the end result of it. You should be able to stitch like this. See on the inside how it is stitched. Now, you put it in here, and then you just tighten it with this, and it'll just go with it. Look. See? You gotta put a bit more. And I'll show you after I'm done stitching. You should have it something like this. Now I'm gonna put it on the puppet. And I'm already put on the eyes, so don't be surprised. And there he goes. Now he looks a little goofy, but I promise at the end, there we go. I promise at the end he will look good. Now his nose might be a little too big, but I can just solve that by a little bit more stitching. Other than that though, yeah, all we gotta do now is put on his fabric and then glue these on. I'll see you then. To make arm rods, you need a 5/8 dowel rod and cut it in half with 5 inches. So you have a 10 length, like in length wood of dowel rod, cut it in half, and then you just have the perfect 5/8. That's what you need. Then after that, you get metal. It is usually, not usually, it is 3.5 32. 3.5 32 of metal. I get copper. You can get it from Amazon too. And then once you have that, you should use these two to drill it. So this is a longer wood. This is a longer drill bit that you can use like a drill or an industrial size drill. I actually transferred that part and just drill it inside there. Just drill it inside there with this type of drill bit. It's like around 3 feet, 5 inches, yeah, around 5 inches, and you just drill it in there, and then you have the hole that you need. And this one, you would like put the wood in there so you can keep it stable when you drill it. That's all I need to do for that, and I'll show you when it's painted right now. So after your arm rods are finished, you can put them on the foam hands. Oh wait, I forgot. For the glue, I just use tacky glue. There's a type of like liquid glue that you just go inside here. But I don't have it right now, so I use this for now. It's just a generic super glue. But once I really get tagged, I might just get rid of them off and then try to get it more secure. But as of right now, this would do. For the foam hands, you will put armature wire on them, tie them against this, and you will also tie these ropes to the arm rods. Now, you don't need to, but if you want to, all you gotta do is to get some like 1-inch wooden beads, a black thread, or any thread, and just put notches in between just leaving it just enough room for breathability. And then it's kind of like a counterbalance to your arm. You get some good weight. You just gotta tie it from right here from the edge, and then that's it. Now I'm gonna show you when it's finished. After you are done not gluing, but after you're done putting the armature wire, it should look like this. And you would also want to put hot glue on there so it could survive longer. So if it breaks, the hot glue still kind of holds it. Now we're gonna glue them with the contact cement. Be very careful with it, or just use hot glue and just put it on there. But yeah, I'm gonna show you after I'm done gluing them. And now that I'm able to glue it together, the foam, now I'm gonna put in the fabric. Once I put it in the fabric of the arms, then we can move on to the next part. Once you are done stitching the arm through once you're done stitching the hand to the arm, you should shave it off just like this one. See how much that is a difference in. I'm going to do the same thing to this one. After this is done shaving, then glue this together through this joint and this joint. You can use a puncture hole to punch the hole that you need for the body, so where you can stitch it, so that way you can just stitch it on the foam side and it won't be a big hassle just figuring out how to sew it. That's what I recommend. I'm going to show you after it's done though. Okay, now that I'm finished with the arm rods, I am going to put this and glue it on his mouth with this tongue piece attached. Now you can just regular contact cement, but you could also use like a sticky spray, and it can glue it together by just doing that. And it works a lot. I mean, I use it, like I said, on here, and it got sticky, like a lot sticky. So yeah, it works. I'm gonna do that. It's just spray glue, and you spray it on here, and you just put the mouthpiece right here in it, and that's it. So I'm going to show you after it's glued to the mouth, and I'm going to show you how to put the fabric inside of it. Okay, so I cut half of the puppet off, so that way I can easily do this part. So what we're going to do is we're going to grab like the corners of it, like where the ending stitch part of this is, and where the ending part of where the glue is meant for the mouthpiece, like right here. We're going to glue them together. Now I will suggest to glue the fabric and then put the glue on it like barge, because then when it completely dries, you can just wedge your finger in between the areas that need to be glued, and it'll be less harder for you. That's what I recommend though. And I'm going to show you after it is done. And now it's done. As you can see, it's on this little pedestal, and I already glued on there. Now if you open it, wow, that looks really good. It has a very snappy feel, because look, this is how it is. And then it's so strong, the fabric, that it's just also just because, yeah, the fabric is only like a little bit of space, so when it ricochets all the way back, yeah, no more. And on camera it looks really good. It looks like a void. He looks so black. Okay, I'm gonna put the tongue on him, which is just barge, and I'm just gonna stick it on it. After that, I'm gonna put the fabric on him by gluing it up to this part. Very same concept as that. I'm gonna show you after I'm putting on the fabric of the whole thing. Okay. Now, before you do the fabric, you should make this. It's a tubing. It's plastic, and one should be bigger than the other one. When you're done making it, get a fabric and then put it over it, and then just stitch it all around it so that way it can be secure. And you should have this, which fits comfortably in your arm, and you should have that to hold your puppet, not hold your puppet, but like to have for your puppet. Now I am almost done. Just need to glue this on him. I need to shave just a little bit of the puppet. Haven't put the arms on him yet because I need to stitch them on. As soon as I'm done with that though, it is completely finished. Almost done. Almost done. It's a little weird, but I'll fix it. But almost done. Just gotta stitch on the arms, and we're good. I finished sewing the arms. I'm only showing one right now because there's the other one. But since this is sewn on now I just gotta stitch this on to the arm. Gotta stitch it to where it feels the most comfortable to you. So like I'm gonna stitch it right here, but by stitching it, I'm gonna puncture a hole like this in there, so that way when it makes a little hole, I can just tie it up, maybe put some glue on there, and it'll be very secure. And now finally, the puppet's finished. Took a while. I would say it took maybe about a month from start to finish, but that's in and out. I'm not like constantly working on this. And that is how you make a puppet. Yes, it takes trial and error. A lot of things take trial and error, but it is very rewarding at the end to get your own puppet. So what I say with confidence is puppetry is an art form that should stay around for many moons to go. Thank you for enjoying my video.